Hello. Last time we spoke, I was spiraling deep into a psychotic episode, or so some people said I was. I don't think I'm crazy. I feel fine. A lot of people were really concerned about what was going on. There was also a lot of people who were very supportive of me and my realizations that I was having. As you may remember in the last video, I was telling you about how I had this crazy synchronicity about this girl that I used to know. And it had to do with a cookie and a fish, and it was all like on my birthday and everything. And a lot of you are probably wondering what happened with that. Did I contact her, or did I ignore it, or what happened? And the answer is yes, I did contact her. I sent her a message on Instagram. One of the hardest things I've ever done, because it does sound crazy. It sounds insane. And so what happened? Well, as I expected, she was happy to hear from me. And I told her about what was going on and why I was contacting her. And I even sent her a link to the video. She watched the video and she said she thought it was very interesting. And we briefly talked about dreams for a while. And she explained what the cookie was. So she said that the cookie was for her husband's father's birthday. Likes to fish, and so she drew a fish on there, and it just so happened to be posted on my birthday. So there's no real mystery to that really anymore. It wasn't some magical moment. It wasn't like a point where I was supposed to gain some kind of knowledge about anything. She did say though that she thought it was very interesting, and so that's good that she thought it was interesting and not creepy. So, the conversation ended there. I don't plan on staying in touch with her. I don't know, I might go through another phase 10 years from now and contact her again. I feel like it's hardly harassment if you are contacting somebody once in a decade. So I think we're pretty safe. The video ended up becoming my most viewed video, which is pretty crazy. So I think it topped out at around 11,000 views, something like that. And there were a lot of comments, a lot of great comments, great stories that I read. A lot of people's personal experiences with synchronicities. Turns out that this is something that resonates with a lot of people, like a lot of people. And a lot of people are, as I was, they're afraid to talk about it. And so a lot of people told me that they were very interested to see what would happen with this. A lot of people recommended several different books that I should read. And so I went by the bookstore and I picked up a copy of Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. So now you guys are probably going to watch me morph into some kind of pretentious asshole. Next thing you know, I'll be wearing scarves and selvage denim. And it'll be like, oh, you mean you've never read any of Carl Jung's manuscripts? I can't talk to you. I promise that's not going to be me, okay? I promise. Who knows though by the time I get to the end of this book. I don't feel like I'm qualified to read these books. Like every other sentence I'm having to pause and look up a definition to a word, because this stuff, a lot of it is way over my head, and he describes this stuff in a way that makes me feel stupid, because he'll say something like, as we all know, that the ideas of Freud and free association were incorrect. And I'm like, no, I don't know. What is free association, and what does that have to do with dreams and interpreting things in symbols? I don't even know what a free association is. And so I'm having to pause like every other sentence and figure out what it is that he's talking about. It's like you have to have a college degree in psychology to understand these books. But I'm gonna power through it, and hopefully something good will come of it. I'm starting to think that synchronicities don't really mean anything other than to the specific person that is experiencing the synchronicity. So the things that I noticed about that image, if another person saw that image, it wouldn't mean anything to them at all. Which means that synchronicities are really personal, and that they don't have any meaning except to the person experiencing the synchronicity. And I don't think there's any magic to it. I don't think, at least that's what I think right now. I don't think like the universe is trying to talk to me or whatever. I don't think that it really means a whole lot. I do think it's important though still, and that is because it did get me into the mood for taking action on something that I've been wondering about for quite some time. And even though nothing came of the conversation that I had with her, what did come from it was the video, the original video that I put out, and me making a bunch of new friends. Okay, so I've been talking to a lot of people. A lot of people are very interested in the things that I have to say now, which is pretty interesting. And also, side note, I'm not a guru. I do not know anything about anything. I am learning, and I may say things that are incorrect. But one thing is for sure, I'm not lying about anything. These are things that I'm experiencing and you are experiencing with me along the way as I go through this journey of really, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what's coming at the end. I have no idea. So I'm not a guru. I don't know things, but I think you can still enjoy what I have to say and watch me struggle through this, and that may help you through your own struggles. Since we are on the topic of synchronicities, I thought I would go over one of the biggest synchronicities of my life ever. This involved another girl, completely different girl, about a year ago. Someone that I was much, much more involved with. I had met this girl at work, and I thought she was married, and so I wasn't planning on talking to her really at all. And then one day we somehow ended up in a conversation, and it turns out that she was separated, and she was actually in the middle of getting a divorce. And we ended up talking for a bit, and it turned out we had a ton in common. There were literally hundreds of synchronicities with this girl, but I'll only share one, which is the biggest one. And like weird stuff, like everybody in her family was married to somebody with a name that started with J. And so my name started with J. Like all of the children's names started with J's, and then everybody in the family always married somebody whose name started with J. And it was a lot of stuff like that. Turns out we grew up within a mile of each other, and since we were the same age, I was confused as to why we had never met before in school. And it turned out she was homeschooled. And so that's why we had never met before. And so this is where things get really weird. We grew up within a mile of each other. I rode the bus to school every day. She had this friend that lived on her street, and every day she would wait at the bus stop for her friend to get off the bus. Crazy part is that it was the same bus that I rode, and I'd be on this bus on my way home looking out the window, and there's this girl standing here waiting on her friend to get off the bus, and I'm looking at this girl and no idea that at some point I would meet this person and end up involved with them in a romantic kind of way. That blew my mind. That blew my mind when she told me that story, that we had crossed paths like a decade, like more than a decade, like a decade and a half, like for the first time. And then here we were again meeting, except this time actually interacting and communicating. And so with all of that, it felt like it was something that was meant to be, like it was really meant to be. Like I was, you think I was spiraling about the cookie thing? I mean, I was spiraling about this, okay? I got to the point where I really, really liked her. And, we ended up together for a little while, very briefly, and it was all kinds of crazy synchronicities, like one after another, and it really, really felt right. And so everything was going great. I was having a great time with this girl. Everything was almost like perfect. It was literally magic, like watching a movie or something. It's like just unbelievable. And one day I was out riding my dirt bike in the woods, and I crashed. And I was bleeding and limping out of the woods when I got a phone call. And it was her. And I was very excited to hear from her. But she was calling me to tell me that she no longer wanted to see me. And I was destroyed. I was broken, both physically and emotionally and mentally. It was bad. I was bleeding, and it was so shocking and out of nowhere that I couldn't even say anything. I think all I said was okay. And then we hung up, and I never talked to her again. And still don't know why. Never asked. And so that was really hard. My physical wounds actually healed quicker than my emotional ones did. And so eventually I got over it and got back up on the horse. It sucks. It sucks when somebody like just leaves and they don't even tell you why or anything, and then you're wondering like what you did, and like you don't even know what it is that you can do to fix it next time. It's like it probably didn't even really have anything to do with me, or maybe it did. I don't know. But it's hard to know things like that when people don't give you an explanation. So please, 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 if you're ever going to just walk out of somebody's life, please give them a good, honest explanation as to why you're doing it. No matter even if you think it might hurt their feelings, I think it's better to be honest with people and let them know so that they can grow and so that they don't make the same mistakes again. I mean, like if you care anything about people at all, you owe that to them, I think. That whole story taught me that synchronicities don't really mean a whole lot. I think that they can mean something as far as helping people feel like they're on the right track, helping people take action with things. And I will continue to take actions with synchronicities. I guess, I don't know if that makes me superstitious or what, but I don't think that there's anything magical about synchronicities. A lot of the comments were really cool. I did get a couple of comments of people requesting that I stalk them next, which I think is hilarious. I'm hoping they're joking. Maybe they're not joking, though. Be my next victim. And so I'm thinking about starting a paid stalking service. So if you would like for me to stalk you, you can pay me a small fee and I'll just stalk your Instagram for you. Maybe pay me a little bit more. Maybe we'll start out around $5. I'll stalk your Instagram. $10, I'll send you a creepy DM on Instagram. Maybe like for $100, I'll find out where you work and follow you home. I'm not actually going to do that. We're not going to do this, okay? I do, however, think it would be funny, though, if one of my subscribers wanted me to stalk them for a video. So if you are out there, if you're interested in me stalking your Instagram, just let me know. Just send me a DM. And my Instagram is the same as my YouTube channel. It's just Jordan Trout OG. Send me a DM and I will we'll discuss. We'll discuss. I'm not going to be stalking any men because I'm not gay. But yeah, if you want me to stalk you, I think it'll make for a funny video. If anything, what you'll get out of it is a shout out for your Instagram, and I think it'll be funny if you want to do that. So my stalking service has begun. First one's going to be free of charge, and if other people are interested, we might think about setting up some kind of Patreon or something so that I can stalk you. And I hope you know I'm mostly kidding, but I'm also not kidding. This video is really going off the rails, so I'm just going to end it here. So I'll talk to you guys soon.